Welcome everyone to this segment of today's event at the World Business Angel Investors Week 2024. I have with me on this segment my friend and a renowned and prominent figure within the business landscape and the business ecosystem in Lebanon, Ilda Nahas. Ilda is a distinguished practitioner and coach in entrepreneurship, communication, and strategic execution. As the founder and managing director of Crealine, she has successfully guided numerous businesses to achieve their objectives through innovative and strategic solutions. Ilda is also the co-founder of Rashid Khair NGO, where she empowers communities by providing access to quality education, arts, and mental health initiatives, amongst other things that Ilda will tell us about later on in the conversation. Her impressive career includes pivotal roles such as General Manager of the Lebanese Microfinance Association and currently the CEO of Neonism, a fintech company. Ilda's multinational consultancy and multicultural consultancies and exceptional interpersonal skills have enabled her to build strong relationships with stakeholders, both regionally and globally. Ilda, welcome on this Fireside chat, and thanks for accepting the invitation. Over to you for a quick intro, and then we go into the chat.
Thanks a lot, Sulaiman, for this beautiful intro. I can add, and I'm very proud to be among you and for the opportunity granted for me to be able to speak in the World Business Angel Investors Week. I would just like to add one thing. It's I believe in the potential of that every one of us has, whether it's in your whether you want to perform something new or go into a new venture, or even within your own job. Something now that's been started to being called like entrepreneurship. And I totally understand and believe and see the potential existing mainly with any age, but with the youth, because now you see everybody like wants to jump into entrepreneurship and all of this. We need also to make them understand that there is this possibility to be and to do whatever they want, gain access to different, let's say, angel as well, by building their career somewhere, somehow, in a sector, and then venturing on their own. So this is it mainly.
Indeed, Ilda. You know, this year's theme is all about diversity and inclusion within the angel investment, space.
Yes.
And you've just mentioned a few examples of inclusions related to age groups and genders and all of that. I'm sure that we will elaborate further as we progress with the conversation. But to start with, can you share an example of a time when diversity within your company led to a significant innovation or success?
Okay, so I can give you different examples. Let's say we could go into the corporate world, or we could go into the NGO world. I will start with Rashid Khair, which is the NGO that I've co-funded around 5 years ago. The innovation or the diversity, the inclusion that we have actually allowed to have was direct into we have interaction, let's put it that way, within youth, some from one perspective, women who are of age which they actually looked at as if they have no more chances, coming from a background that is kind of underserved, and eventually we've put them together and they were able to go on with a product, with a new, let's say, initiative that is still going on within Rashid Khair, that is related to direct entrepreneurship, with supporting these women, different, let's say, communication strategies that are always ongoing, supported by the youth, and they are able to sell their products and their services and all of this. They felt this inclusion on several levels. There is a team of supporting them, making contacts with the private sector, so that they are always, let's say, on the map. They are always supported by different categories of products, of best prices, and so on. And this is very important in the NGO world, because when we have this support, have this let's say openness from the youth who are more tech savvy, who are more like into communication and all of this, women of different ages and who are even in underserved areas now feel more, they feel more economically stable, and they are able to cater and support their families. This is for the NGO side. If we're going to talk differently, let's say if I'm going to talk about experience now at Neonism, we have a bunch of youth with us. Definitely fintech is about tech savvy people, and you know, like the youth, they are, look what's happening in the world, in this country, XYZ, and we were able to adapt our solutions. And now we're creating like kind of a new app, side app, like that would come and let's say enhance the mix that we have, which is related to youth and tourism. I'm not going to talk a lot about it because still, let's say, a bit under processing. We still have the final. It's something that we still don't have in Lebanon, and it has been proposed by a young lady, and she's like working on all the details, and soon we'll have inside our current Evo e-wallet.
Interesting.
This is it, yes.
Ilda, really, please feel free to answer every single question from two different perspectives, because you bring that unique blend of someone who has not only worked and contributed, but really you've set a great example of working within the NGO space in Lebanon. And I have personally, as a fellow citizen, I have personally witnessed you and your team and Rashid Khair in action in times of crisis. Okay, so that's on the one hand. On the other hand, I know how well established you are on the commercial side. So answering every question from both perspectives would certainly deliver the right advice to our audience, because. And again, Ilda, I think you would agree with me that purpose and profit and social entrepreneurship and commercial entrepreneurship are actually converging one way or another on multiple ways.
I totally agree. I totally agree. First of all, thank you for allowing to have both sides of the coin, let's say the social part and the commercial part. And yes, they are, as you said, converging into one aspect or into one bottom line. Because usually when I've worked in corporate for a very long time and started with the NGO side or social side around 7 to 8 years ago, and bringing in my experience from the commercial was very handy, and it brought like kind of what I hear from the donors. This is what I've heard from them. It's not just me saying that, but it brought like kind of a fresh air or a different perspective, because bottom lines now differently. And then this was all around the world. It became again like a buzzword or things that we hear and we read about. So basically what we're looking at, and definitely when you go into commercial, it's profit bottom line. Mm-hmm. And when you go into social entrepreneurship, it becomes a double bottom line here on. It is the commercial, it is the money, it is the profit that you make, but as well, it's the impact that you have made on people that you have included, that you have taught, that you are mentoring, and that you should not be leaving alone. It's not like, okay, guys, I gave you this training and just like go ahead and see what you can do. It's beyond this, because if you just like, let's say, hold their hands for a little while, you will see that they will actually grow. And we have a lot of success stories like this. A lot of people have been working in different areas even. It could go into food, it could go into design, it can be into arts, it is even into cycling. So there are really a wide perspective, different opportunities. And through the social, we go into, it's not only localized in big cities, whether it's Beirut or whether it's Saida or Tripoli or Jounieh or Zahle or whatever. No, I'm saying we go into like sometimes more remote areas of Akkar, or remote areas in the south, or remote areas in the Bekaa, the West Bekaa, a little bit everywhere. And even in areas in Beirut that are deprived of different, let's say, resources, and where people are marginalized for different reasons, whether for its age, social, income, gender, any type of perspective, education, but eventually they know the area pretty well, and they are able to cater for their area or for certain needs that we overlook, because sometimes we just look like, you know, at the bigger picture. The bigger picture should be there, because eventually when you go into the commercial and the corporate and the bigger, let's say, the bigger investments, they support the smaller ones, and they can come like adjacent, or they can come in parallel. And this is where bottom lines need a bit differently, or let's say with a bigger lens, if I may say.